Hello boys and girls, and welcome to another cast by me, District StarCraft. And today we have the final game of the best of 3 that I started casting a couple of days ago on my channel. And as always, we're going to start this game off by introducing our players. So in the 1 o'clock position we have our blue Terra player LSGodzilla. Way. And in the 5 o'clock position, I'd say, we have our blue, or not blue, purple Zerg player. It is PsyRex. And they are both from the team All In, with this cool logo going on here, which means that this is an in-team best of 3. So these guys are buddies, so to speak, so they know each other's playstyles in and out, I'd suppose. And they are both gold level players, so what we find here is probably not the best of the best, but they still know what they're doing. They still know quite a lot about what they're doing. Anyway, a 12 barracks going down from LSGodzilla, and I've seen him do this most of the time, I think. I think he went for barracks first last game, or a command center first last game, and barracks first in the first game, so it's nothing out of the ordinary. It's still very standard. But no gas coming down from LSGodzilla, which means that there is not going to be a Reaper. And we do see a hatchery going down first for PsyRex, so economic opening from PsyRex and an economic opening from Godzilla as well. Since he did skip that geyser, he's probably going to a command center after this barracks. So we're going to step into a macro game. The map is Catalina LA, which is very famous for this. Oh, it's the Chobo Team League. I've never heard of this, so they're probably playing in some kind of team league, I suppose, because I've never seen that before. Anyway, this map is famous for this octopus thing in the middle, kind of cool. But it's a 3-player map, and it's new for this season, so still figuring this map out for most players. Anyway, still no gas from PsyRex coming down, which means that it's still very economic, focused heavily on the economy for him. And obviously they command center going down for Godzilla, as I previously thought. So not a lot to say really. The map is going to step into some kind of macro game, and we'll probably see Mutaling, Baneling into the mid game. That is the most standard of plays for Zerg, versus of course the Marine and Medivac, perhaps Sculptor Marauders, but Widow Mines for splash damage. That is the standard that we see today. We also see some kind of Roach Hider play, but it's not as common as the Mutaling Baneling, of course. Into the late game we step into Ultralisks and Infestors as well. And now we see PsyRex going to lose an Overlord here. Not very good. It's going to die. Yep, there we go. He is not supply blocked though, so he is still alive and kicking. He made, I think, an extra Overlord, so it's going to be no problem. It's not a huge loss, but of course never great to lose a scouting Overlord. I don't know what he scouted actually. Double gas came down from Godzilla just recently, so he could step into some factory, which we see right there. But Godzilla is very low on harvesters right now. If we go to the income time, we can see that he's at 16, and that is extremely low compared to the 25 of PsyRex. PsyRex is now going to be supply blocked though, so not the best for both players here. I don't know how Godzilla ended up so far behind in the SFV count. He's barely mining. What the? I don't know what he has been doing all the time. But anyway, Jesus. Okay, I can't get over that. The reactor is coming down, and the factory is almost completed, which means Hellion. And I think he's done this at least in the first game. I'm sure he did this Hellion push, and he's most likely going to do it in this game as well. SV is finally going to scout out where his opponent is, and he sees the Zerglings. I don't know why he's going over to the third base first. Perhaps to scout out if there's a third base. I don't know. Just a guess. But Godzilla, you're not producing any SVs. I feel like Godzilla played better in the previous games. He's now kind of falling apart here. I don't know. Should always be producing SVs, especially in the early game. But now we see the Roach Warren and double Evo Chamber coming down for the block at the ramp. Could have made this a bit better, I think, but the first Evo Chamber here, and the second one, and then the Roach Warren following that, the Roach Warren right here, and he could have blocked that off with perhaps a Queen, just to fill it out. But doesn't really matter. some kind of wall is always good. He's up to a lot of queens right now, which means that his creep spread could really accelerate right now. If he wanted to, he could easily spread his creep very far at the map. Anyway, Banshee and Cloak coming up, as well as the Hellions right now, and a Hellion Banshee push is really annoying because you have to keep your queens alive to deal with the Banshees. But at the same time, the Hellions are going to roast away any kind of Zerglings you build. So he's gonna have to get roaches out and have the queens focus up fire down the Banshees. And since Cloak is going to be done, he's going to be needing some kind of detection. He does have one Spore Crawler in the main base and one at the natural. But that is it. He does not have Lair, so it's going to be really annoying to deal with. He's going to have to drop some couple more Spore Crawlers perhaps right here out in the open here to deal with these Banshees. And the first Banshee is on the way right now. Moving out. Now see PsyRex picking off, yes, one Hellion falls, so that is always a good start. But if the queens get pulled out of position, the Banshee can come in and deal some damage perhaps. But since there are two Spore Crawlers in each mineral line, perhaps it won't do as much damage. Anyway, here we see, nope, this is not going to work out. It's gonna have to get out of there very quickly. Remember that Spore Crawlers deal a lot of damage. Can't see that unfortunately. But they deal additional damage to biological, of course. So the Banshee is not going to be taking additional damage from the Spore Crawler. Anyway, this is why it's annoying with Cloak when you don't have Lair up. The Banshee can just pick off really any units you have outside of your Spore Crawlers. Hellions are moving in, picking off one drone so far, 2 drones, 3 drones, and oh, none of them have fallen just yet. 2 get out with red HP. Oh, that was not good. Drones, you should not be attacking Hellions and lining up like that. They're both stacking up quite a lot of minerals, and Godzilla, man, he's at 30 SVs right now, so it's a bit better, but he's not well saturated at his natural at all. So both players are low on drones and harvesters, and the Banshee is going to fall. Not very good at all. And what is this game going to turn into right now? We do have the missile attacks and Carapace coming in, so this might be a Roach Hydra play anyway, even though it's not the most standard of plays. It could definitely work out. It's strong versus Marine Marauder. Now we see tanks coming out, so it's not going to be Widowmines this game. Oh shit, he's got a lot of barracks on 2 bases, barely saturated, so I don't know. Godzilla is not going to be able to afford this. He had a bunch of minerals, so he probably dropped a lot of barracks, but he's not going to be able to afford this on 2 bases. The 3rd base has just been dropped, but he's too low on mineral, or on harvesters rather, so it's going to be tricky for him to produce out of all of those barracks. And if we see any kind of mutaplay coming in, it's going to be hard to deal with, since he doesn't have any sort of anti-air splash. He's not going to have the Widowmine, so he's going to have to rely on his marine control and turrets, I suppose, in the main base. 8 more roaches are coming out right now, and the armor supply right now is favoring PsyRex. So with these 8 roaches popping, he could actually deal some damage to Godzilla. Godzilla is still in the macro phase, of course. He's getting up his 3rd base just now, and PsyRex has been done for quite a while. He's probably mining more. Yeah, he's mining about 500 minerals more per minute, so the longer this game goes on without Godzilla getting up more SVs, PsyRex is going to end up ahead. Now we see a drop coming from Godzilla though, and this is always annoying to deal with, especially when you don't have fast Zerglings with metabolic boost running around. All he has is these roaches. And I don't think they have roach speed, I'm not too sure. Perhaps I missed that. Anyway, +2 coming in right now for the roaches. And Godzilla stim is finished, but he's not using it right now. Here we go. The drones are being pulled and the roaches are being pulled back into the main base. This drop hasn't really dealt a lot of damage. Oh, there we go. Stim comes in. And a couple of drones might fall. 13 have fallen right now. I think a lot of them were killed by the Hellions though, so not the best of drops, could have utilized that more. But he still got some decent damage and it was definitely worth it. 8 more drones are coming in though from our Zerg player, so he's going to be replenishing those quite quickly. PsyRex is currently up at 2.6k in the bank, and remember that when you play StarCraft you always want to spend your minerals. It's a lot better to have those minerals put into units than just have them sit in your bank account. It's not good. Anyway, Godzilla is going to drop off here, kill an Overlord. All the while, PsyRex is moving out on the map, but nope, he's going to be pulling back to get rid of this drop. Now we do see the Hydralisk coming in, so it's going to be a Roach Hydra style, definitely. An Overload falls, but he managed to kill off 2 Marines, so no big thing. And +2/+2 is very close to finish. He might hit some sweet timing there. +2/+2 versus 1/1 of the Terran player. This creep spread is quite decent. Remember that he had a lot of queens in the early game, but I think some of them might have died to the Hellions and Banshees. But anyway, PsyRex is going to be moving out right now. Grooved Spine is about to finish up, which of course adds that +1 range to the Hydralisks, which gives him 6 range instead of 5. But at the same time, Godzilla is going to be moving out and is sieging up on this position. It could be tricky to deal with these units up on the high ground, but he should have some high ground vision with the medevacs, which he does. But he's not going to be spotting this army, and PsyRex is moving around, going into the third base right now. Godzilla is going to have to reposition his army very quickly, because this command center falls immediately. And that's not good. Now PsyRex could just back off right now. I don't think he wants to engage into this army. The tanks are in good position right now. You don't want to move down a ramp. No, that's not what you want to do. The Marine stemming up was kind of unnecessary. Only 1 medevac there to heal. He's going to be hunting this army down. And now PsyRex is going to split up into a concave. And it's going to get a decent trade here. And remember now that PsyRex is way ahead in the income. He does have 3 bases while Godzilla is at 2. So if he can stay alive for a bit longer, he is going to be far ahead in this game. 21 more roaches are coming in, and I think PsyRex is in a great position right now. Oh, but that is not good. He's going to lose a lot of Hydralisks here. And units lost right now is actually favoring our Terran player, and that is exactly what you need when you're behind on income. Let's see here. The tanks are not sieged. There we go. They're sieging now. There are too few medevacs though, and a lot of Marines and Marauders are low on HP. But some kind of move command, micro, not the best there from our Zerg player. Makes him lose a lot of units. Anyway, Infestation Pit is coming in as well as a 4th base right now. Here we go, Roach is coming in trying to pick off these tanks. Can they do it? A double drop going in I think at the same time. Yes, here we are. And now double medevac is here. But these units are going to get cleaned up, but there's nothing in the main base to defend. And here we go, Stim Marine Marauder coming in right now, and they can kill off a lot of drones here. Oh. And still no reaction from our Zerg player. There are no units being pulled back, and even the hatchery could fall here. The Queen is going to fall, as well as quite a lot of drones. It's kill off 20-30 drones right now. And now we see the Roach Hydra coming in to reinforce, and the hatchery is going to stay alive most likely. Yes, Godzilla is going to have to move out and evacuate. Godzilla has actually managed to catch back up his supply, and is not that far behind. But the problem is that he's too low on income. It's at 40 harvesters right now, and PsyRex is doubling his income. So eventually he's going to end up far behind. You see Pathogen Glands coming in, which is of course that energy upgrade for the infestors, which makes them spawn with 75 energy instead of the 50, I think standard, or 25, not too sure. PsyRex though is taking some very bad engagements, but an unnecessary stim I'd say. Here we go, the Roach Hydra have managed to gather a decent chunk of army, but no. Godzilla is going to push through PsyRex army, and I don't know. PsyRex should really be winning this game. If he would have managed to spend his money, he would be far ahead right now. But 12 more Hydralisks are coming in. I think PsyRex is going to be able to kill off this army eventually. Might be able to deal some damage to his creep and his third base, but we'll see. PsyRex is currently under the 100 supply mark, so I don't know, not the best. A lot of overloads are going to fall here. This overload party is being ruined by the Terran player. Roach Warren falls, and at the same time the Hive is coming in though, so it might be able to take up to some kind of Ultralisk or Broodlord take. Hydralisk coming in from different angles, not the best here. A couple of Marauders are going to fall though. The units are very low on HP from the Terran player, as they have been slipped quite a lot of times, and the medevacs are all out of energy. Here we go, PsyRex is finally managing to kill off the push from Godzilla. And he killed off 3 medevacs as well. That's not good. You always want to save your medevacs if you can. But a small force coming in here. I don't know. It's gonna be close. Remember that these units do not have any medevacs. Here we go. Medevacs are reinforcing right now. 4 of them currently. No units are in production from Godzilla though. He's focusing all his attention on this push. And now he's managed to stock up 2k minerals, even though he's barely mining. So not the best of macro from neither of these players. The 4th base is established though for PsyRex, but I think it's too low on drones to be able to saturate it. No, he's got 63 drones, so he should be fine saturating 3 bases. Remember that he is not mining from his main base currently, so he should really be pulling, I'd say, almost all of these drones over to his 4th base right now. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's starting to saturate it right now, and PsyRex is now, once again, I feel like in a winning position. A scan from Godzilla manages to spot this base, and Godzilla is probably feeling quite far behind right now. He's finally adding on his 3rd base once again, but it's going to take him a while to catch back up at income. As we see here, he's actually even right now, but that is due to these mules. 5 mules have been dropped just recently, so that makes him even with PsyRex. But PsyRex isn't managing to spend his money. If he would have switched into some kind of Sterling Balin play here, he might be able to use up that money a bit better. But the infestors are out on the map though, and let's see what they can make happen. Remember that fungal growth is of course extremely good versus Marine Marauder. Marine Marauder requires a lot of micro splitting up and setting up concaves and stuff, and so does Roach Hide, of course. But the fungal growth shuts that down and makes the unit stay in place. So that's why a lot of people choose Infestor versus Marine Marauder, or at least they did in Wings of Liberty. Infestor Broodlord was kind of imbalanced in the other Wings of Liberty. But anyway, a large, I think it's called a Maynard. He's Maynarding over his SCVs right now to his newly built 3rd base. This is very nice from Godzilla. Steaming out a couple of units to kill off creep tumors. Always good to get rid of that creep, but he's not going to be able to kill off that. Yeah. Oh, no, he didn't. He didn't kill off that last creep tumor. And creep is very good for Zerg players. Gives them, of course, both vision and speed. Oh, is the Hydra going to... Oh. 1 more shot, I think. No, 2 more shots from the Marine would have killed it off. He's going to run in more Marine, try to kill it, but nope, the Hydra is already out of there. Now the Hydras are moving around, and PsyRex is maxed right now. I don't think Godzilla can hold this. I don't think he has any tanks out of the map, so he's got no splash damage available. Now PsyRex moves in. If he kills off this 3rd base, that's going to set Godzilla far behind once again. And Godzilla has to evacuate. He's lifting off, pulling all his SCVs back. But the base is going to fall. Can we see the fungals being dropped here on the ramp? The units are trying to come out. Not the best of engagement from PsyRex. What are you doing? What is he doing? He's not attacking. And the Infestors are stuck behind the army, but he might be able to win this engagement anyway, since he's far ahead, or not far ahead, but he had in upgrades, and they would see 1 fungal landing on a couple of Marines and Marauders as well as Medivacs. And PsyRex, I think, is going to take this game. He is producing 26 more roaches, and +3/+3 is coming in right now. He might not be able to win it just at this moment. Oh yeah, he's probably going to be able to. That fungal was kind of deadly. +2/+2 just finished for Godzilla though, and this is not a good engagement for PsyRex. There we go, finally moves down the ramp, and now he's pushing Godzilla into his natural. 1 tank, or 2 tanks rather, are in position on the ramp, but it's just a matter of time before PsyRex manages to break this with his reinforcements. Look at this nice stream of roaches coming in right now, and that is going to end Godzilla, I think. The Spire is coming down from PsyRex, very nice. Always good to switch out in the end game if you have any trouble, but he's not really in any trouble. No fungals being dropped, so the Festos, there we go. Going to lock the Medivacs in place. And now we see the Hydras moving in, picking them all off, and there we go. GG, well played, good luck. So apparently it looks like PsyRex moved on in this Chobo Team League. So I think these guys, I don't know, perhaps it wasn't a friendly best of 3 as I thought it was. But anyway, it doesn't matter. This was the end of the best of 3, and PsyRex manages to take it all. Even though Godzilla took the first game, PsyRex manages to crawl himself back with his 2 others. And I feel like he deserved this victory. He played better than Godzilla did. He managed to saturate his bases and stay ahead in income. But he could use some more practice with spending his minerals. But so do we all, don't we? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, especially you who submitted this game. I don't know if it was PsyRex or Godzilla. I suppose it was PsyRex since he won. But please do submit more games. I love it when everyone submits more game to /r/castit over at Reddit. Anyway, see you in the next one. Bye.